please hit that subscribe button. Hey everybody, better suited to win the Stanley Cup this season. If you are new to the channel, Washington Capitals, the Boston Bruins.
Locked on and he scored! And we're live. Hey everybody, so it's time to continue my series looking at my favorite players by position on different NHL teams, and today we are moving on to the Pittsburgh Penguins. Now before I begin, I just ask that you please hit that subscribe button if you are new, and give this video a thumbs up if you haven't already, as those really help out the channel and are much appreciated. But let's get right into it here. Starting at left wing, where my favorite left wing on Pittsburgh is Jake Guentzel. I love Jake Guentzel. This kid is such a good goal scorer, such a good player. Unfortunate injury this past season. He missed most of the year, but an incredibly good player, and he's really become one of my favorites on the Penguins. And I love what he brings to the table. At center, we have Evgeny Malkin. It is not Sidney Crosby. Crosby's grown on me. I hated Sidney Crosby for a long time when he first came into the league. It was always that Crosby versus Ovechkin, and I was Team Ovechkin, Team Capitals all the way. Crosby over the years has grown on me. He's obviously an incredible player, but just he doesn't whine as much as he used to. He doesn't come off as a baby as much as he used to. And I've really started to like Sidney Crosby more and more as his career's gone on. Still, however, he's not my favorite. Evgeny Malkin is my favorite center on Pittsburgh. I love Malkin. He's big, mean. He's got a nasty streak to him if he's, especially in rivalry games, or if he's playing against players that he doesn't like. He's powerful, and he's just really fun to watch, and obviously an incredible point producer as well, as he's been, kind of that number 2 guy behind Crosby his entire career, but on pretty much almost any other team, he would be the number 1 guy. So Malkin's an incredible player and one of my favorites for sure. At right wing, we have a local connection. It is Brandon Tanev. Brandon Tanev played at Providence College, which is my favorite college hockey team. And I watched him at PC. He won the national championship with Providence in 2015, and a lot of those guys have gone on to the NHL, or even the AHL, even more so the AHL, but some of them have made the NHL. Kevin Rooney was on that team. Noel Acciari was the captain of that team. Tanev, arguably, maybe the best NHL player. That's him and Acciari are probably the 2 best NHL players from that team. Mark Jankowski was on that team. There's some really good players, and Tanev, coming from a local school who I watched in college, now watching him in the NHL, that's just so cool to see. And, that he'll always be one of my favorites in the league. So I'm a huge Brandon Tanev fan. Defense, my favorite defenseman is actually Marcus Pettersson, who kind of one of those under-the-radar guys. But I liked him even when he was in Anaheim. And then obviously Pittsburgh made the trade to bring him to Pittsburgh, but he's just a really solid D-man and a good young defenseman. I believe he's still only 24 years old or something like that. So he's got a very bright future ahead of him, a great career ahead of him, and he's really molding himself into being a top 4 guy for the Penguins. So Marcus Pettersson is definitely my favorite D-man. Second favorite defenseman, Justin Schultz. I really like Justin Schultz. He's been a good offensive defenseman for sure, and he can put up points, but I think people underrate his two-way game. He's actually developed a pretty good defensive zone game as well, and it's not like he's strictly an offensive defenseman and then is terrible in his own zone. He is not a Jeff Petrie. He is not a Cody Ceci or anyone like that, Tyson Barrie. He's good at both ends of the ice. Now, obviously, his offensive abilities kind of stand out because when you're really good offensively as a defenseman, there aren't that many guys like that, so it really does stand out, and Schultz definitely stands out on that Penguins blue line, but his D-zone play is developed pretty well too, so that's something to note with him. And I think Justin Schultz is all around a very good defenseman. And then finally in goal we have Tristan Jarry. I've always liked Jarry more than Murray. Obviously Tristan Jarry had a huge year this year, his by far best NHL season. Murray, very inconsistent, but he's the one with the 2 Stanley Cup rings. So, for me personally, I just enjoyed Tristan Jarry a lot more. I watched him in the AHL with the Wilkes-Barre Scranton, and they played against Providence quite a bit, and Jarry was a really good goaltender down there. So he's a good goalie and fun to watch, and I'm a pretty big fan of Tristan Jarry. But those are my favorites for the Pittsburgh Penguins, guys. Jake Gensel at left wing, Evgeny Malkin at center, Brandon Tanev at right wing, Marcus Pettersson on D, Justin Schultz on D, and goaltender Tristan Jarry. So Pittsburgh, definitely not one of my favorite teams, one of those teams on the list of that I don't really like all that much, but that does not mean there aren't players on the team that I like. And quite honestly, I've started to like Pittsburgh a little bit more over the last couple years. So, those are my favorite guys. So with that, like, comment, share, subscribe, follow on social media. All those links are down in the description below. If you'd like to further support the channel, the links to our Patreon and merchandise store are down in the description as well. Keep spreading the word about this channel. Let's keep this thing growing. Thank you very much for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll talk to you guys soon.